diving deeper into some biohacking with some of the guests we're going to have coming up. And I appreciate, we're back rolling for another season in a way, for sure.
Yes, and so this is summer. We're coming into where everybody's getting outside. I know where you live, it's still cold. It may be
Yes.
a little,
See,
maybe
I never heard of March 25th is summer, but that's where I need to go out where you live or
yeah,
out to Arizona. I can't be in this cold anymore. That's for sure.
yeah. So you live up in the north. So down in the south, and of course James, who's on here with James Toale, he and his wife live down in Central Florida near Ocala area, and everybody's heard of the villages down there. That's where they live, and it's probably what are you up this morning? Is it
Well,
75 yet
I
already?
was going to say, woke up this morning. It's about 70 degrees. It's beautiful out. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day here in Florida.
So
34 in Ohio right now.
yeah.
So
So so for us in the Panhandle, it's in the upper 60s. So we're close to your temperature down there in Central Florida. So you can get up and walk out without a jacket on if you want to. Now, if you wanted to put a little jacket on, like James has, of course, got his company paraphernalia on there. But it's you can do that. But I'm telling you, in days, we will get it to the position where if you walk outside with a jacket on, you're going to start sweating automatically. Well, if you're sweating, you're dehydrating, and you've got to be focused on hydration in this season as we're coming into it. If you're not hydrating, there's just so many things about hydration that are important for the human body. And I'm going to start off hitting on some of those. And we're just going to kind of fly through importance of hydration. And James and Jamie Toale have got a mission to hydrate the world. And so we're going to let him, close us out near the end there. But let's just talk about for just a second, why is it important to hydrate? You know, your body is constantly getting rid of things that it doesn't need anymore. Stuff that have died, cells that have died, things that are going on in the body that are not good for you that have gotten in there somehow, but you're trying to get rid of it. And the only ways it's going to get rid of that is through fluids coming out of your body. So in other words, urinating or pooping. It's just the only way for it to get that stuff out of your body. Well, you can't urinate if you don't have fluids, if you don't have water in your body. You've got to go through that process, and you've got to get the proper amount on there. You're changing your background like 50 times here, Jay. So, anyways.
those, but it's not showing up. So no one can see it. So don't worry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Anyways, we'll have to cut that out.
I wanted to make sure I could be seen.
Okay. So we can always things there. So we want to talk about a few things here. Why do you need hydration? Signs you're not drinking enough. Practical ways to stay hydrated. And there we could cover that kind of at the end there. But my brother yesterday was out working in the yard. I make him carry a bottle with him all the time here and drink. My brother has dementia, and so I think we've talked about that on the podcast before. But I make sure he is constantly hydrating. But he fell over in the middle of the yard there. I said, okay, so what's going on here? I picked him up. He fell over again, and got him into the house, trying to check him out. He's got a temperature. So water regulates your body temperature. It does so many things. It transports nutrients, oxygen throughout the body. It lubricates your joints, supports your digestion. Blood pressure, major thing with that. So I check his blood pressure, I check his temperature. I'm looking at things with him. It also keeps your skin healthy. So there's just so many things that you've got to do when you're hydrated. So here's what my brother's symptoms were yesterday: brain fog, fatigue, headaches, dizziness, all clear signs that he had dehydrated. Well, I think he has a bug, but he's out there working in the yard doing things that he enjoys doing. But at the same time, he's got this bug. It's causing him to dehydrate or not to want to drink. And he's not drinking. And I'm seeing, and I pick up his bottle. And I go, Mark, have you not drank any of this? And he says, well, I'm drinking as I go. You always tell me to drink as you go. And I go, yeah, but there's a full bottle here. You didn't go back in and refill it. And he says, no, I haven't refilled it. And I'm coming to the conclusion that on top of whatever he's got, he's dehydrated. So my first job is to get him dehydrated because he's got those classic symptoms: fatigue, brain fog, headaches, dizziness, can't focus, and he's kind of irritable, mood changes, things like that. So if you are dropping in hydration, you're going to experience some of these things. And if you see them coming, then, if you constantly are doing this, you can have kidney stones, you can have urinary tract infections, constipation, your blood pressure can go up. And again, I talked about first thing, poor detoxification. You're not getting rid of the things out of your body that you need. And you can't just go by, well, I'm thirsty. It just by the time you get thirsty, you're so far behind the 8 ball on it that you can't do that. So when you're hydrated, you also may dehydrated rather, you might also end up eating more, and eating more on a constantly dehydrated position means you gain weight. So a lot of things that we don't want to have happen to us, a lot of stuff that's going on. So how much water do you really need? Now I go by this just general term that's just easy peasy for everybody to go. Instead of saying, one guy I was listening to one day said, well, you need 8 ounces of water for every hour in the first 10 hours that you're awake. Well, okay, great. That's a measurement. But you haven't even considered your body weight in that. I just take a gallon jug of water and I set it on the counter and I put in it something that makes me want to drink it. Not something that's bad for me, but something that's good for me, that's flavored, that gives me a desire to drink it. Sometimes it's the combination of the Celergize that LifeWave has to offer for that product there, because I want to get the copper in my body. I want to get those building blocks in my body for that, and I'll pop it in the thing here. But I'm measuring with that water jug how much I put in here, so that by the end of the day at 5 o'clock, if I finished my water jug, that one whole gallon, I know I've got in the hydration that I need to have for the day. But I'm trying in the morning to consume. I'm not drinking coffee first. I'm drinking, something there for as well that I've got to get in there. But there's a lot of things you can do. I think that's the easiest way to do it. I think that, when you're looking at doing something, where you can't quite focus on how many of these have I filled up during the day. If you set out a gallon on the countertop, you're going to figure out by the end of the day you've consumed it there. So if you're exercising, you're going to sweat more. You're going to need more water for that. If you drink caffeine or alcohol, you're going to need more water for that. So there's just tons of reasons and whys that you need to do that. So signs that you're properly hydrated. Well, you don't like to talk about this, but your urine is not dark. It's light colored, pale yellow as opposed to a brown looking color there. You have steady energy levels. You're clear thinking. Your skin is elastic. Some people say, you pinch your skin up like this, let go of it, and it goes back to normal place. You have regular digestion. Signs you need more water: dark urine, fatigue, headaches, dry lips or skin, muscle cramps, or feeling sluggish and unfocused. So we're now at the point in time where I want to give you some practical hydration strategies. Practical hydration strategies. I've already given you one about my jug of water on the countertop, but our guest this morning, James Toale, has created a company, an entire company around hydration. You think that, people who do marketing, they want to hit 50 different directions so they get larger pieces of the market. James and Jamie Toale, he and his wife, just went on a mission to hydrate the world, and they've created a company just purely around hydration. So I'm going to turn over the practical hydration strategies and have him talk about his company and what they're doing with it. Again, down in Central Florida, where hydration is key. He and I were out at an event, one of these deals in the villages where they have all these vendors out there, and he had all these people stopping by, gathering, getting some water with the hydration product in it. So I'm going to turn it over to you, James, and let you go from there. And we'll interact with you and ask you some questions along the way. I know you've not been on a podcast with me before, so that's kind of what we do.
That's fantastic, Mike. Thank you so much for having me on this morning. Excited to be here and excited to talk about proper hydration. I'm the owner of a company called 47 that we launched about 60 days ago, with our first product being hydration. And why did we do that? Because we believe, obviously, as you do, you are what you eat and you drink. So what is the most number one consumed beverage in the world? Water. Okay. But water in itself, you did a great job talking about proper hydration and so forth, doesn't have everything in it that we need. All right. So I'm a perfect example of a guy, like you said, that when I go out and work in the yard for, say, 3 or 4 hours, cutting the grass, picking weeds, this, that, and the other thing, I start to cramp up. And even though I'm drinking a lot of water, I never was really understanding myself. I thought I was hydrating, but I was lacking the nutrients, the minerals, everything that I needed, the potassium. So when I was younger as an athlete, if I cramped up, the coaches would always say, eat a banana, James, you need some potassium. Okay. Or drink a Gatorade. You need some electrolytes type of thing. But I never really thought much of it because, again, we all just think drinking water is sufficient. And just like you said, a great way to look at it is drink a gallon a day. But without everything else in it that we need, you're missing that. And I like, Mike, that you brought up the Villages. The Villages is the largest 55 and older community in North America. And I was at the hospital the other day, and 50% of everybody that comes to the hospital because they don't feel well is simply dehydrated. So we're passionate about health, okay? And we figured the first thing we could do to help people is just help them properly get hydrated.
Now you've been working for yourself in the business of marketing for over 30 years, and so this is not something new to you. You know, you market all the time, but tell us a little bit about that.
We have been focused on helping, again, people be healthy through what they drink. In our previous companies, we were featuring coffee because it was the second most consumed beverage in the world. But coffee actually dehydrates you.
Right.
So when we launched our own company, we said, let's focus on that number one product, which is water. What can we do to enhance it and so forth, which is why we came up with our product called Superhydrate 47. Now, when we really started studying the industry of hydration, started looking at different brands out there without mentioning the brands, we noticed that they all were bright in colors. Yeah. And if you're paying attention to the news right now, our Secretary of Health, RFK, he and Dr. Oz, they're all talking about how these food colorants have been hurting us all for the last 60, 70 years. As an athlete, I grew up on, I can say it, a company called Gatorade. 60% of the world drinks that product, but we noticed how bright in color it is, okay? All those food colorants. So the first thing Jamie and I did with our formulators, who are the experts in this, you know, we're not the experts, they are, is we said, guys, we need to come up with a product that's crystal clear, that has no food colorants in any way, shape, or form, within the right ratios of magnesium, sodium, potassium, the vitamins and minerals our bodies need. Key word here, we developed our product to be safe for kids to seniors.
Yeah, okay, because people are giving this that stuff that looks this color to kids.
Yes,
and we're fighting against that in the marketplace, saying this is bad for you. You don't want to have that color stuff going. Yeah,
exactly. So again, I'm at the hospital the other day, the Villages Hospital, and I asked one of the nurses, "What's the first thing you guys do when you think someone's dehydrated?" They hand them a Gatorade.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation
and the other problem is it's not just the food coloring, it's the other things in the product.
The sugar.
So like, for example, drinking regular water with no taste, you try to find these other ones and they hurt your stomach because it's terrible for your digestion system. And you take these things and literally because they have, you know, other chemicals you don't want to put in your body.
Just crap.
But just crap. I mean, and literally they say, oh, it's a healthy coloring, or oh, by the way, it's sugar free. Then they throw these other garbage in, and then your stomach feels like crap drinking water. That you're like, only thing I can do is just drink water.
Absolutely. So guys, this isn't rocket science, right? As far as our formulators taught us as we were going. The healthiest water you can drink naturally on this planet Earth comes from coconuts. So about 50% of our product is coconut juice powder, which naturally gives you about everything you need, but then again, mixed with the right ratios of sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. That's why our product is special, and that's why we call it Superhydrate 47. Yeah.
By the way, it tastes really great. I drink it every day. But when I was down there at that event in the villages with you, I saw I mean people coming up sampling it, and nobody went ooh, because if things don't taste good, people will not consume them. And you and I know there are tons of products that come on the marketplace that are supposed to be great for you. You get them, and then you start to consume them, and you go, ooh. I will not take this. This is nasty. This is really good. It's refreshing. It's almost um, like a combination of lemonade and lime and such. To me, it tastes that flavor, and it just I don't my wife first time she sampled it, she's like, wow, this is really good. This is really good. So it's good flavored,
Yeah.
but it's got all the right stuff in it as opposed to all the wrong stuff. So anyway,
We spent a lot of time on that, Mike. We again did all our research, and again, when we talk about Gatorade, their most popular flavor for the last 60 years has been the lemon lime flavor, with second the orange. Okay. So we had our formulators really focus on that lemon lime. When people go out to dinner and ask for an ice water, usually, like you said, they're looking for a little bit of flavor, so they ask for a lemon or a lime. Okay. Right. So we went through so much sampling. Like if you go to a vineyard and you're testing wine, we went through so much sampling to try and get the perfect taste, in our opinion. And we came out with a delicious lemon lime, but my wife thought it was slightly tart. So she asked our formulators to put different amounts of orange into it that kind of made it a little bit more citrus. And it is absolutely delicious. And as you saw, Mike, okay, we want to be involved in a large market, take a small piece of it. When we're handing out samples to everybody, we truly get about a 98, 99% people taste it and say, that is actually really good. Because if people, like you said, don't like the taste, they're not going to drink it. So it's a delicious flavored water is what it is.
And see, that's exactly what you need, because that is the challenge. Give me an example. There is one good water out there, but guess what it costs per a small bottle? You're not going to get the hydration. I'm not going to name the company. $4.99 at Giant Eagle. And I'm not going to say the company. And my fiance gets it. $4.99 for this little bottle. I mean, like, are you kidding me? That has the natural stuff, that's at the Whole Foods. And
so since you got off onto the $4.99, I wasn't going to go there yet, but let's go there. So if you're going to hydrate, water, you can take it out of your tap. It's free. Of course, I say free. You're paying for it. You can get it out of your refrigerator. It's filtered there. But if you want to have something that's appealing, it's pleasing, like this, I almost want to say it's almost Fresca-ish in the flavor, of this drink. The Hydrate product. You want to do it economically. You don't want to spend a whole lot of money for it. You can go to Walmart and get this packet or that packet or this thing that way and put in your water. Don't have any idea what's in them. Don't know if they've been, are efficacious for your body in any way. Y'all have done all that work. You've got the right product. What's the price points? What's the cost for if I wanted to put it in this drink here and consume that once, twice a day?
Okay, so great question, and you get what you pay for. Wouldn't you guys agree? Okay.
Yes.
But we knew we had to make it affordable also to the average person out there living paycheck to paycheck, which is 90+% of the United States. Okay. So just like you were saying, something really healthy and good is close to $5. All right. Yeah. So we were able to formulate ours in large quantities to make sure we could keep that price point down. to a 30-day supply that either comes in tub form with a little scooper that you just pour into your 12 to 16 ounces of water, or in a sleeve like this that you're able to keep with you anywhere you go. And that 30-day supply retail is $84.95. Do the math, divided by 30, that's $2.83 per serving. That's really good, guys, at $2.83, okay? But like with Amazon, subscribe and save is the really popular things to do these days. So just subscribe and save, which means get on a monthly auto shipment, and we can discount that $84.95 to preferred customers for $59.95, discounting that price to $1.99. Isn't your health worth $1.99 per day?
And
Absolutely.
so, like, talk about the only real water on the market, and I won't name that company. You're looking at spending around $180 to $200 a month.
Yeah.
And that's not even hydrating yourself enough.
And people don't get this. You're going at the gas station, you fill up. Now, of course, the price at the pump may cause you not to go in and buy something these days, because right now we're experiencing with the Iran war that we're having to pay a lot more for gas, and that'll go away soon. But anyways, the reality is that it's an additional expense. $200 a month, $300 a month for stuff you buy when you go in the store that you don't know if it's efficacious or not. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yep. And that company I mentioned before, which owns, guys, 60% of the hydration market, that's what 60% of the world is paying. They're going in for convenience, like you said, and they're paying that. And that's what we have to educate people here, is there's a healthier choice that is also less expensive.
Get it delivered at home. It's automatic. You don't have to think about it. And then you're getting something, what it is, and then it's
Period. Where you go.
Yeah,
you can get water anywhere, like you said, for free, and just tear it open, pour it into your water, shake it up, have it with you anywhere you go. Guys that are out working in the hot sun and so forth, you don't have time to leave the job to run off and get something and so forth. Have it with you. Years ago, I started a painting business when I was in my 20s, and I was doing exactly what you said, Mike. I was taking and encouraging my guys a gallon jug of water. We would actually freeze it the night before. So in the morning when we woke up, it'd be melting all day long as we were drinking it. We didn't know back then that we were missing the electrolytes, the sodium, and so forth. We just thought we were drinking water all day. But water in itself, guys, is not enough.
Yeah, when I would come home from working days like that, doing painting or something like that, I would come home and be cramping at night, wake up in the middle of the night cramping, and didn't realize what all I was missing in the process there. So another little hack here, you're saying that make it easy on yourself. I put the gallon jug on the countertop because I work from home all day long. I spend most of my time on the phone and doing podcasts and such as this. So that's my reminder of it. When you're out in the marketplace, you can carry those little packets you've got with you, and so that's your reminder of, okay, when I get some water, do this. So when you stop to get gas, or you're stopping to do something, instead of going in and getting the junk, you just go in and get some water, or carry it with you. If you're doing work, if you're listening to a podcast and you've got a crew, a team of guys, and you're going buying the water off the shelf there for them all day long, have the packets there for them. Make sure that they're getting what they need. I mean, if I'm an employer and I'm working a team of guys there, I'm going to provide the water. Why not provide the hydration stuff that goes along with it as well, to make sure they're getting what they need to do? Because if they don't show up to work for you the next day, then you're out of business.
Absolutely.
You've got to keep your team going and getting the right things that they need to have. And it's just another hack. Any other thoughts?
I want to add one more
Go ahead.
thing about that price point that we were talking about, that we also do something here special at 47, is we also have what's called a 3 and 3 program. If you're a preferred customer of 47 and buying 3 products per month, you can easily drink 30 of them yourself. Your wife or husband can drink 30, your kids. It's a family pack, okay? If a preferred customer is obviously by word of mouth sharing this great product with their friends, and they are buying 3 products a month as well. When you have 3 customers doing that, the next month, we won't just send you 3, we'll send you 6. So now that lowers that price point of $1.99. I haven't done the math, but I think to under $1, guys, per serving. So we're going to use, we believe, if you love our product, you're going to naturally tell your friends. And in doing so, we're going to encourage you to do it by giving you extra product.
Now, one more thing, you've got a program within your company. You're looking to expand your marketplace, get more market share. And so, you're not only offering the 3 and free, 3 and free, I was something else. The 3, what you just said. Anyways, but you're offering this discount and additional product for referring 3 customers.
Yeah.
But you also have a program that somebody wants to market this. If they want to get out there and say, I want to make an extra, income. We were talking about just a few weeks back on one of the podcasts we did about that there's all these little innovative things that you can do that you can make additional money at. I mean, if you're a former school teacher, you can go tutor kids. You can do this stuff and make extra money with it. But with this, you can call up your friends at home and say, hey, there's this new hydration product, and you ought to try it out and get on it and do that. So what's that like? What does it work? What kind of money can people make with these kind of things like that?
Okay, so Neil, this is the first time meeting Jamie and I, so you're about ready to hear a little bit more of our story. Is about 17 years ago, our businesses fell apart during the 2007 economy crash. The bubble bursted with real estate and all the above. And Jamie and I weren't quite sure what to do, to be honest with you guys. And we got started in an opportunity, which was a little side hustle to make a little bit of extra money, okay, which would change our lives forever. So we're super passionate, not only about helping people get healthy, but also helping people get financially healthy. So again, let's go back to the United States. 95% of the United States is living paycheck to paycheck. Our president was elected so much so to help on the economy. A lot of people are feeling it, but a lot of people really aren't. And like you said, Mike, with the war going on and the higher gas prices, people are getting pinched even more right now. So they're looking for another way of making money in addition to what they're currently doing. Okay. So what we did here at 47 is we want to give our product to the people. You're never going to find our product on the store shelf. We believe if you like our product, you're going to naturally tell your friends. And when you do so, we will pay you to do that. So it is as simple in getting started with 47 as $15.95 a month. You have started your own business, basically. You're partnered with 47, where we will give you a replicated website, back office, wholesale pricing on our product, and a compensation plan, guys, that can help you make some additional money each and every single month. Those of you that want to take it a little bit more seriously, there's quite a bit of money to be made here in 47. But again, we're going to give back to the people. We believe in word of mouth advertising. So for a $15.95, like I said, subscription model, you have access to your own little business opportunity, which is also, this is another topic we can talk about, guys, a huge tax benefit that if you're an employee and they're taking money out of your paycheck, now you have a little side hustle where you can get some money back, okay? So that's something else we can also talk to people about, tax benefits in the future when it comes to having a little side hustle here with 47.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity and possibility, and the market is looking for a real option. Now, we've talked about the taste. We talked about how it's going to keep you hydrated, it's going to make you want to drink it. What other benefits do you get from your product?
Again, proper hydration. Mike, you nailed it all. You read in the beginning of the segment everything that it does for you. What I've noticed myself as being the guinea pig of my own company for the last 6 months, again, we only launched about 75 days ago, but we were the guinea pigs, me and a lot of our friends, is one, I noticed immediately how much better my skin was feeling. In just drinking water, my skin was always kind of scaly, and I didn't quite get it. Okay. I wasn't getting the essential electrolytes, minerals, vitamins, and everything my body needed. My skin is much more moist these days. We have another girlfriend of ours that was drinking a ton of Diet Pepsi. Okay. And we said to her, "You're drinking too much. Do me a favor. Cut 2 or 3 of those out of your daily consumption and just add one Superhydrate 47." And something happened interesting to her with her skin. She always looked like she had just gotten out of a pool. You know, when you get out of a pool, your skin kind of looks wilted and kind of wrinkly. Within about 30 days, she's like, "James, I can't believe it. My skin has changed." Okay. So again, hydration, whether it's skin, whether it's hair, whether it's brain support, if you're feeling tired, a lot of it might just simply be you're dehydrated. You don't have the proper minerals and vitamins to feed the brain. So naturally, without being an energy drink product, you're going to feel more awake as well. Mike, you nailed it as well. Get up in the morning, have your hydration before your coffee if you're a coffee drinker. If you've had a drink or two at night, drink one before you go to bed. It's going to potentially help you with maybe that little bit of headache earlier in the morning if you had a glass of wine at dinner or what have you. So there's so many benefits to this. And I'll also throw out one more thing, letting everybody know. We're not just going to stop with Superhydrate 47. Superhydrate and energy is coming next. Because you guys know those energy drinks out there, without mentioning names as well, they're racing people's hearts, loaded with massive amounts of caffeine, which is terrible for everybody. So I'll share a little bit of a secret. We're going to be adding some green tea to Superhydrate 47, which is going to naturally give people what they need. And green tea, we can do another segment on this, Mike. You know how healthy that is for your heart. Yes. And so forth. And that flavor is going to be a peach mango, which is delicious. From there, we're going to have about 4 to 7 other beverages when it comes to hydration plus creatine. The science behind creatine for your brain and so forth is huge.
Oh, that's definitely huge. Yeah, so you have some. So it's all these new products coming.
It's coming, okay? We're just getting started.
You're making me excited. There's this types of stuff. That's why we have the Mike Crook Show, to provide this the biohacking things. And honestly, I did get creatine. I still not put it in any of my drinks. So again, if I would just say, okay, I'm hydrating and this is the product, it's so important. Like this, I'm drinking this, but again, I'm 6'10", 290 pounds. Wow. How much do I need to hydrate? And this is there. So there you go. The media giant. Yeah, but
we're gonna have collagen coming with the hydration. We're gonna have protein. You can see where we're going, guys.
Yeah, I totally see where you're going.
Yeah,
and it's all about the excitement. Mike, any other questions? Because this is such a great podcast. Go ahead.
One thing too, when coffee does actually dehydrate, we are going to be having coffee at some point because it is the second most consumed beverage. Our formulators know how to formulate it properly where it actually hydrates you. So that's going to be a product on demand in the future as well, guys. It's coffee that actually hydrates you.
100%. Yeah. Wow. All right. So we've hit everything, Mike, today.
On the mission.
Any other questions? Yeah, on the mission to hydrate, and it makes you think. And then if you don't hydrate enough, you feel it. And what do you think? I know, James, you've done the research, and Mike, you've done the research. To finish up, how much is too much water to drink?
Yeah. Drinking more than about a gallon a day, ask your doctor. I'm not a doctor, but Mike, wouldn't you agree? Drinking too much water can actually be a problem as well. So be careful drinking too much water.
We can do a whole podcast on the side effects of drinking too much water, because there are some people who go really crazy overboard with hydration and consume several gallons a day, and they have other side effects as well too. That's
got to find a balance.
Got to have the right balance.
All right.
So, thank you for being on with us, James, and thank you
for
having this mission to get people hydrated back again.
And we'll have a link in the show notes for people to go check that out. We really appreciate it, James, and it was a great conversation.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right.